If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust.
If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. We can all ride when it's time to override these policies. But we can't all ride if you're to take the driver's seat. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. We can all ride when it's time to override these policies. But we can't all ride if you're to take the driver's seat. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. We can all ride when it's time to override these policies. But we can't all ride if you're to take the driver's seat. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta. If you wanna
Yo, 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 yo. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show us love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show us trust.
You gotta show us trust.
Yeah, some little light FBA music to get y'all up. You dig? Light little FBA music. We're gonna get right into it. One more. You dig? One more.
Boom, boom, boom. You can just go walk on, keep on. 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 You can just walk on, keep on. You can just go walk on, keep on. Walk on, keep on. You can just go walk on. You can just go walk on, keep on. Walk on, keep on. You can just walk on, keep on. You can just go walk on, keep on. Walk on, keep on. You can just walk on, keep on. You thought the scam you had would never end, but now it's too late to cosplay again and again. And although what you had was sad, but now you mad, acting up, acting bad. But you can keep on walking, I ain't talking to you anymore. You can just go. You ain't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Either go home or find a home over there. You really lost your mind this time. We really did more than all of y'all combined. I ain't tryna roast, but you gotta go. You gotta go. Keep on walking, keep on walking. You can just go walk, keep on walking. I ain't talking to you anymore. You can just go, keep on walking. We ain't talking no more. I ain't talking to you anymore. Keep on walking. Oh baby, you can just go walking. I ain't sorry. can just you can just ball, ball, ball. You can just ball, ball, ball. You can just ball, ball, ball. You thought the scam you had would never end, but now it's too late to cosplay again and again. Know what you had was sad, but now you're mad, acting up, acting bad. But you can keep on walking, I ain't talking to you anymore. You can just go home. You ain't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Either go home or find a home over there. You really lost your mind this time. We really did more than all of y'all combined. I ain't tryna roast, but you gotta go. You gotta go. You can just go. Keep on walking. You can just go walk. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. You can just go walk, 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 walk. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. You can just you can just go walk. Keep on walking. I ain't walking to you anymore. You can just go. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Just go walk. Keep on walking. I ain't talking to you anymore. Keep on walking. I ain't talking to you anymore. Oh, baby. I ain't talking to you anymore. You just go. Just you can just go. You can just go. Yeah. You can just walk on. Keep on. You can just go. You can just go. You can just go.
All right. Oh, here we go.
British?
I was born in London, yeah, of Jamaican descent, yeah.
So you're British.
Yeah, as I stated from when you asked me where I came from,
Got
when you
it.
said Windrush
That's
generation.
right. So yeah, you don't even really claim Jamaican, because when I asked you if you were Jamaican, you were damn near in denial about it. So now
No, I wasn't in denial.
You
I said
felt
I'm
that you've had an ethnogenesis, that you are British. So damn it, I'm a foundational Black American. So
No.
you just justified how we are foundational Black Americans and we're
But
not continental
whoa, whoa.
Africans. You
Hang
just
on.
proved it, sir. Thank you. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You said you are British and I
Tariq,
am a foundational Black American, and you
you're
immigrated.
responding to,
Your family immigrated
I
there.
agree that you're
Your
FBA.
family immigrated there. My family built this country, so I am 100% foundational Black
Yeah, he's not
American.
even British. The real British are, ironically, for him, foundation Black Americans. We are the real Black. We are the real Black Brits. That's the ironic thing for them. They're not even the real Brits. So even when they claim Black Brit, they're cosplaying us. They're cosplaying us way over there in England. That's crazy.
My
I
question.
have African genes. Europeans
Okay.
got African genes. Everybody has African genetics, sir. You see
Okay,
how that
Tariq.
works?
I understand
Yeah.
perfectly what you said. And first of all, I agree you're FBA. I never said that. I never told you who you were. I said, at what point did you cease to be related to your African ancestors?
I didn't say
That's
I
what I
wasn't.
asked you.
I didn't say I didn't have African genetics, but if I do a DNA test, they're not going to match me with anybody in Africa today.
I think you'll find that's not true, though. But,
I think you'll find they can't do it. They don't do it. I've been over here
Okay.
too long. My family's been here too long.
Okay, Tariq, what I'm going to do, I'm going to inbox you testimonies of Black Americans. Some call themselves African American, some call themselves FBA.
This dude said testimonies. Okay. Pan-Africans? Are you serious? The Umar testimony? Come on.
Who have found living relatives on the continent of Africa
Because
today.
they got immigrant ancestry.
No,
That's why,
they
yeah.
have ancestors.
Right. They're not FBA. That's why they can do those things and trace back to Africa. They're not FBA. Right. They are like you, sir, cosplaying Black Brits, cosplaying FBA.
They have
got
ancestry
immigrant damn
from the
ancestry,
plantations
sir.
of Virginia, You can hear the testimonies. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, they got some damn immigrant ancestry. No, they don't. They got immigrant ancestry.
But the thing is,
I
you're
can
saying
show
that
you,
without
and you know
knowing.
what?
So that's feelings. You see
And
what
I
you're doing
can
there?
no. And I can also show you people who tested dogs and lizards and sent the DNA test in, and it came back that they're from Nigeria.
And I can give you
People have
million
tested.
testimonies
People have
of
tested
people that have found
animals.
their living relatives.
I
So
heard, sir. Did you hear about the story? I think it was somewhere at one of them places where they tested the dog, and this dude just as a joke and sent the dog saliva in, and the dog came back Ebo, right? And then
okay.
the dog moved to New York to damn Brooklyn on Delancey Street and started selling fake watches. I said, I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. But anyway, but go ahead, give me some
Tariq,
last word. Go ahead.
but Tariq, I do like the way that you put things across sometimes. But you see, just then you avoided my question. You went into something that I wasn't saying.
I didn't.
But are you going to interrupt me at every syllable?
You're doing a lot of filibustering, and
No,
I
no,
don't
I'm
get
not
into that.
filibustering.
You
At
are.
least let me finish and tell me I'm chatting shit when I finish. But you're interrupting me, so there's no way you can answer what I'm saying. It's impossible.
But you're just kind of babbling, but it's okay. But go ahead, say what you got to say.
So what I was saying is, you responded.
Yeah, they just want to, when they want to talk like that, they just want to talk with no interruptions, no type of dialogue, no back and forth. They're just venting. At this point, it's a therapeutic session, right? This is therapy. They just want to vent. They're hurt. They want to just let it out. That's why Tariq was like, you just battling. But go ahead, bro. Let it out.
To an energy I didn't present. I never said you wasn't FBA. I never told you who you was. You know why? You reserve the right to identify how you want to. I asked a simple question.
Right.
Looking at your features and knowing your story, I was very interested to know at what point you stopped being related to your ancestors. Because you said, even my man said we're different. We had an ethnogenesis, and we're totally different to continental Africans. At what point did you stop being different to Africans? That's what I'm asking. And I don't mean culture. I'm talking about genetically. Culture, obviously, after one generation, you'll be different if you're removed from your thingy. My dad was born in Jamaica, so yeah, there'll be a different generation. I'm not talking about that. I'm different
the same way every ethnic group that came out of Africa became different ethnic groups over the years. Everybody.
No, I didn't say ethnic group. I said race. At what point did you stop being related to your ancestors?
Right,
so don't play with words. Hang on. I know you understand me.
You got black people in Asia who came out of Africa at one point. Are they African still?
What black people? You referring to Negritos?
Negritos, yes.
Okay. So we're gonna get into,
literally means little black people. Negrito means little black people.
And when those anthropologists went there and they saw them, they didn't do a DNA studies because they had curly hair and they looked a little bit different to the general population of the Philippines. Even though phenotypically you can tell they're Asian. The same thing happened in Papua New Guinea. New Guinea, they look like the people in Guinea. They did no tests. When anthropologists went into the east coast of Africa, they noticed that their phenotype was more aquiline than those in the west, and they called them Caucasoid without testing them. Had they tested them, they'll find that they have the universal haplogroup of E11BBA. That would have been found on them, but they didn't do that. They looked at them and said, because they had straight pointed noses, aquiline lips, projected jaws, and looser curling hair, sometimes straight, they are therefore European or Caucasian. When we clearly know that black people have the most diverse genetics in Africa, and we can produce any phenotype.
No, this dude said black people and said we. Dude, you're not black. Okay, you're not black. Black ain't a biological thing. Okay? It's about ethnogenesis. You're not black. You're African. Ain't no we. Ain't no black people, and then we. No, it's black people, and it's us, our, we, and it's you. You on the outside of black.
Therefore European or Caucasian. When we clearly know that black people have the most diverse genetics in Africa, and we can produce any phenotype.
We can produce black people. This African tether said black people, and then said we. When did you become black, my guy? You reluctantly said you reluctantly admitted that you were Nigerian. How do you reluctantly admit you're something that you actually are biologically and culturally, but then proudly say you're something you're not? Oh, we black people. You're not black. You're African, sir. You're Nigerian, and you're part of the Yoruba, whatever tribe. That's what you are. the guy from yesterday. I was like, "What are you?" He was like, I'm Senegalese, Nigerian, American." I said, "You black too?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "God damn, you a bunch of things, my guy. How are you African, Senegalese, Nigerian, American, and then black? Why are you all those things? How and why are you all those things, my guy? It's not that serious. I'm just black. I'm not all this other stuff. I'm just black. You African, Nigerian, Senegalese, part of a Hausa tribe, American, and then somehow you snuck in black." So then he explained how he's Nigerian, Senegalese, and his tribe and African. So I was like, "Well, explain how you black," and he couldn't. I said, "Exactly. You're not black. You're just cosplaying, and the cosplay is over."
New Guinea, you said they said this about the people in New Guinea?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay,
I
yeah,
said
you
I
all over
said
the
when
place.
no, I'm not all over
You
the place.
mentioned
He was
New
not
Guinea.
following
No,
me.
no, because you're all over the place. You mentioned New Guinea and said that
yeah.
they did some tests on the people in New Guinea.
No, I didn't
What
say
you
that.
said- okay, yes, you did. You kind of did.
I
say
said that when they went to New Guinea, without testing them, they called them New Guinea because they look a ship like the people in Guinea, even though genetically New Guineans are nothing like them, totally different. The reason being
after years,
because the
after
people
a while,
in New Guinea,
after a while, because of the ethnogenesis, you have a new diet, you have a new environmental.
no, it's not.
circumstance.
It's not an ethnogenesis.
So,
with New Guinea,
it is an ethnogenesis because
their ancestors left Africa more than a millennia ago. Yours didn't. So that's the
it
difference.
doesn't
And
matter.
it takes more than a millennia for you to
there.
change.
Not really. No, it
Which
doesn't.
is why.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
That's why. No, it doesn't, sir. That's why our energy.
You see, my people, Jamaicans.
Okay. Hold on.
The reason why we still retain.
Hold on, because you're talking over me. You're talking
everything I said was true.
No. You're talking over me. And I got to respond to some of this stuff you're saying. You're just not gonna babble. I was in Fiji.
Go ahead, sir.
I was in Fiji. The Fiji, they acknowledge that their lineage.
Right. They start talking on and on and on and on and on. They don't want no response. Like, hey, let's respond to some of that babble, man. Some of us are entertained. We want you to keep going. We don't want to interrupt you. We want you to keep going, but we got to respond to some of that babble.
We're next generation.
Okay, here we go. So let me do it like this. Let me unshare my screen. Where's the button? I got the speaker plugged up. Okay, so let's do it like this.
Right. So yeah, you don't even really claim Jamaican because when I asked you if you were Jamaican, you were damn near in denial about it. So now
I wasn't in denial.
You felt that you've had an ethnogenesis, that you are British. So damn it, I'm a foundational Black American. So that's justified how we are foundational Black Americans and we're not continental Africans. You just proved it, sir. Thank you. This is what I'm saying. Okay. You said you are British and I'm a foundational Black American, and you responded in fake watching. I said I ain't never seen no like this in my life.
Good morning to Nikki P. Great black morning to Nikki P. And to the rest of the chat. You dig?
Never seen no shit like this in my life. Same.
All right, let's get back to where we were. Right here, as we were.
That their lineage comes from East Africa. They told me this. They volunteered some story to me about how their lineage comes out of East Africa, and they came centuries ago and came over to Fiji, and they broke the whole story down and started saying that there were certain words that are still over there in East Africa that they use. So they broke it all down. But they had an ethnogenesis. They are Fijians now. They're their own ethnic group.
Right.
Everybody came out of Africa at one point. You understand? It's redundant. So after a while, you're going to become your own ethnic group. We are not continental Africans. We are.
I agree. I agree. I would never suggest that.
Right.
I'm the descendant of chattel slavery. Right. So that's almost a slap in the face to my experience. I'm not saying that to you.
Yes,
what I'm saying is somebody
have a whole different vibe and a whole different ethnic.
Okay. So
we're not continental African. That's why they know we're different when they see us.
Okay. So you see, speaking on Fiji and why that wouldn't tie in with my ancestry or yours. The people in Fiji, their ancestors left Africa maybe up to 50,000 years ago. I know the Aboriginals were 70,000. So they retained an oral history and they knew where they came from. However, that was millennia ago. A millennia is 1,000 years ago in anthropology.
Hey, family, they know about everybody's history but themselves. He know about the Fijis, he know a little bit about FBA, but they know nothing about Jamaica.
They left maybe 20 to 40,000 years ago. So yes, their DNA, their genome and their DNA had a unique experience and change. So you couldn't find genetic matches or ties today. However, I'm not going to say ours, I'm going to say my ancestors came from the west coast of Africa between 500 and 600 years ago. So they still have a continuity and nothing has changed since then. Of course, we had an ethnogenesis. I've done a DNA test. I've got all types of stuff. But predominantly, I'm in the high 70s to 80s of West African. And those markers are true. They're not
Then
made up.
why? Okay, then why?
And by the way, I'm not speaking on you. Even though yours would be the same thing, I'm not going to speak on you.
Then that's
I don't want to disrespect you.
Well, listen, then why are foundational Black Americans culturally different than Africans?
Of course, you're culturally different because you've been separated and displaced from Africa for over 500 years. So you're not going to have African accents. Because of the process of colonization and slavery, we lost our names and we have some retention, which are evident. But of course, we're not going to have the culture. And the cultural stuff that you have formed in America, you've done independently because you're displaced. You're no longer, there's no satellite between America and Africa. So that's why you don't have the culture. Just like in Massachusetts, in Boston, you have the biggest St. Patrick's Day outside of Dublin Island. Those people, and that's a closer migration, they probably came in the 1800s. They still have a cultural difference, though they still have retention from Ireland.
And here's the thing. With us,
yes,
what makes us unique, we weren't just displaced, because there were still some Black people here that we mixed in with. We had Black people on this land, which y'all hate to acknowledge because y'all want us to be this displaced group. But yes, some of the
who's you? You see, when you say you, I'm Black, sir. Are you saying?
No, you're not.
I'm not whitey.
Not a lot of y'all hate, y'all the worst. Y'all really hate when we acknowledge that there were Black indigenous people here on this land. Y'all really don't like us to acknowledge that. With that.
See, and that's the thing. That's the pressure. That's the brotherly lineage pressure we're putting on Tariq. Stop letting these tethers say they're Black. He just told you he was Jamaican and all type of African, this African that. Tariq, stop letting these guys just say they Black. Explain how whatever Black there is, it ain't the Black over here. There's no solidarity under Black. It just ain't. Whatever Black they are, that's what the Black they are. But it ain't our Black. Okay, they primarily use Black as a descriptor, as a modifier of who they really are. We don't use Black as a modifier. We don't use Black as a descriptor. And we don't use a racial classification as our identity like these guys. These guys this Jamaican moved to Britain, the UK, and immediately became a Black Brit, whatever that is. He immediately became that. No longer Jamaican. So you got to stop letting this guy cosplay as us. Throw a little pushback. Because this is why they call him Tariq Pan-African, because he's flattening the Black to Africans. You dig? No flattening Black. Let's ball it back up. Let's roll it up to big ball. Let's unflatten the Blackness. They're not Black. There's no way they can be Black. So these guys get a kick out of telling Tariq, I'm Black, and he just stay quiet. It's like, okay, well, that don't work over here, right? Because we want to know how and when did you become Black? Just like how and when did you become British? Because the real Black Brits are FBAs. That's what I'm trying to say. The Black anything is us. This guy's cosplaying, and we're going to need Tariq to be more consistent on calling these cosplayers out about this fake Blackness that they're claiming to have. How are you Black? Like I told the guy yesterday, they always run to skin color. Okay, I got you. All right, Dr. King ain't dark skin. His skin ain't Black. How is he Black? Because then they'll say, well, I'm Black because my skin is so dark. Okay, so the people with dark skin are only Black, right? Okay, so Dr. King, how is he Black again? And it's crickets. It's like, yeah, so the way he's Black, do you understand that? The way he's Black has nothing to do with his skin color. So that means there's something more. We are the capitalized Black people. You are the no Black people, but if you're going to be Black, you're not. But white people will acknowledge your dark skin as Negro. If you want to call that Black, that's little b. That's your skin is Black. But you guys didn't identify none of y'all Africans. I didn't know Jamaican. None of y'all identified yourselves after your skin, your primary ethnonym. None of y'all did. You guys named yourselves after your flag. So whatever your flag is, my guy, that's who you are in your tribe. So you're Nigerian, African, Yoruba, and whatever else you want to be. But when Tariq be talking to these guys, it gets messy and sloppy because he allows them to say they're black. And once they say they're black, then they start to cosplay and take ownership of things that are entitled to black, that are associated with black people. You look, watch this. They're black now. Black history is includes Mandela, you dig, and Shaka Zulu and all these guys, because they're allowed to say they're black. And then bushmeat would be a black diet. Oh, hey, you're black, I'm black. So if I'm black, I eat bushmeat, and you're black, then we eat bushmeat. That's how I keep going. As long as they're allowed to call themselves black, they're gonna keep saying we. Oh no, bushmeat ain't. I'm black. Black people eat bushmeat, right? I'm black, right? Yeah, you black. You African black. All right. So I eat bushmeat, right? Yeah. So I'm a black guy who eat bushmeat. Black people eat bushmeat. Like what's the guy named Godfrey? Godfrey was telling Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh, Jesse Lee asked him, "Did you build a country?" Godfrey, no damn way he didn't. He said black people did. Then he said, but did you build a country? He said, yes, we black people built the country. So as long as they're allowed to say they're black, you see how Godfrey said we build the country because he's saying he's black. Tariq, didn't black people build the country? Okay. Godfrey, we built the country. He's black. Black people built the country. Godfrey built the country, his ancestors. See, that's how easy the back door is open. No, you're not black, my guy, at all. And you ain't built no country, nothing. You're a Nigerian or a Jamaican, whatever you said you were, that's what you are. And we're holding you to that. And you ain't gonna cosplay as us and backdoor yourself into our accomplishments in our divine lineage.
Have you ever heard me tell you that you're not FBA? I could never tell you that.
I've never spoken with you.
So you see, me personally,
I've never
I have
spoken
no
with you.
problem or qualms
Never
with a black group demarcating themselves and having a tribal name, a culture, and something to hang on to.
Right.
That's every black person's
So
right.
let me ask you, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's get to, why do you want us to be? Why do you want us to be African so bad? What's in it for you?
Oh, okay. I hope that you're hearing me in verbatim, syllable for syllable, because even though I've got a British accent, I know that what I'm saying is mutually intelligible. This is why I said, I'm going to repeat myself the last time in the King's English. I said to you, sir, or sorry, I said to someone in the comments, how and at what point did you cease? That means stop. When did you yield a relationship with you and your African ancestors? I didn't say that you're African. And then I gave a caveat.
Okay,
I haven't finished, sir.
Okay, let me answer.
Okay, I haven't finished, so you can answer. I'll be 10 seconds. Please allow me to
10
finish.
seconds. Go ahead. 10 seconds. Go, because I would like to answer.
Okay, go. And then I gave you a caveat, and I said there are three distinctions of when someone asks you if you're African. The first two are not applicable to me and you. The one that is applicable is ancestry. So how is that me making you African, sir? Please explain.
So you said, when did you stop having a relationship with Africa? I don't know.
At what point did you cease to be related to your African ancestors of which you claim reparations for their forced labor? At what point?
Forced labor. What African forced labor?
Okay. You've heard of a thing called reparations.
You did a little Jedi mind.
You've heard of a thing called reparations,
No,
right?
because you're doing no. Because you're trying to do Jedi mind trick. No, you did the Jedi mind trick.
Nope.
Can't let them finish when they're talking. Because Tariq let him finish and he babbled and babbled and babbled. Then he snuck in some slick African shit in there. So now Tariq she wants some quick clarity so he can answer, and the guy wants to talk for 5 minutes more. They're never going to be done. Let me finish. I ain't done. They're never going to be done. So I'm like, yo, just tell me you want 5 minutes. Just say, hey, I'm Bias Ron. I want 5 minutes. Stop pretending you want a dialogue. Because once you pretend you want a dialogue, then I'm going to hold you to that. But if you just want to rant and babble for 5 minutes, just say that. And I'll get my popcorn and soda and be entertained by the foolishness. TikTok shop, I love you. All right, let's finish. I mean, this is embarrassing.
You're fucking up because you can't answer that. You know what? You can't answer that.
Why are you
You're
talking over
working
me?
of a logical fallacy.
Why are you talking
You know what
over me?
logical fallacy is? Your premise and
Why you
evidence.
Ask Tariq a question. Tariq, he said, "Let me finish." Tariq goes to answer. He's back talking again. It's like, so you don't want, so you didn't want the answer. You wanted to say something, and you wanted to draw a conclusion that we have logical fallacy, right? But you never did want an answer. I ask a question, I want the answer.
Don't marry with your outcome.
You're talking
I'm
over
talking to you, sir. Yes, sir. I'm talking.
Why you talking? Okay, you asking me a question, and when I'm about to answer it, you start trolling. You're trolling now. You see that?
I promise.
Why are you
I'm not
trolling?
trolling.
Why did you ask me a question?
In the name of my ancestors, I'm not
And I'm
trolling.
going to answer it, and you start trolling.
I apologize if that's how I come across. I'm not trolling, sir.
Why did you just start? You asked me a question, and I'm going to answer it, and you just start talking over
Are
me.
you doing this as a tactic to not answer the question, or are you going to answer it eventually?
Are you going to talk over me again?
Then he gaslight Tariq Nasheed and said, "You're not answering the question." He asked a question. The question was very long-winded, unnecessarily. Tariq goes to answer. The guy says, "Let me finish. I'm not done." Okay, finish the question. The question was long-winded. He got done. Tariq goes to answer. The guy cuts him off. Tariq says, "Hey, I'm trying to answer the question." The guy say, "Answer the question. You're filibuster." This is the epitome of gaslighting. Now, I would have kicked him off. Okay, but you know, each his own.
No, I'm not, sir.
Because you tried to do a Jedi mind trick.
Okay, I'm going to mic up.
You said, when did I distance myself from Africans who built the United States? What Africans built the United States?
And now you're being disingenuous. This is what I said. Everyone heard what I said. I said, at what point did you cease to be related to your African ancestors who came over?
Family, this is his 20th time repeating the question when Tariq wanted clarity about something else. He just wants to talk.
In ships and chains. At what time? That's what I asked you.
Oh,
your answer there.
Let me give you my answer. My answer.
You know what?
I'm gonna give you the answer. We became disconnected with them. We became disconnected with them when they sold niggas and made them go around trees to forget what they did. That's when we became disconnected with them.
No,
when they ran cats through Amina Castle, that's when. And then they ran us around the tree of forgiveness.
Perfect.
That's when.
Everybody you saw, you just did.
Right. That's when, yeah, we became disconnected then when they left us for dead.
Stop being related to
When they left us for dead. Yep, we ain't got nothing to do with them. Yep. Those we ain't got nothing to do with them. Yep. They
drop down because
they sold us for dead, left us for dead, and ran us around a tree.
Yeah, I agree.
Forgiveness. Yep.
Right. And gunshot.
And when we came over here, we didn't have no African nation helping us. We didn't have no African citizenship. We didn't have no tribal citizenship. We didn't get no African money. We didn't get no African support team. We didn't get no African sovereignty. We got African nothing. We had to get everything out the mud over here. We had an ethnogenesis that became foundational.
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
You're down bad and running over.
Okay, that was a perfect rebuttal because that's what I would have said, bro. Once you and your people sold us, you sold the ownership. You sold the African. So you treated human beings as property. You treated the African title, the African label. Tethers treated the African label, title of a car. Okay? They treated us as a title was associated with it. So they treated us, Africa, the title, the people. Okay, they're in Africa, the title says African. You sold us to a new owner who now has their own title. The African title is left in Africa. Okay? The new people took us because you sold us this property. So there's a new title to this property. And that title did not come with an African or Africa. Right? So that's how we end up becoming American. A Native American. So the Africanness stayed in Africa. Does that make sense? And where we went, we took on that because we became native to that land. All right? So we become Native Black Americans Once we set foot on America, we became native. We became native because America was not yet built. There was no America. So now that's what makes us native. Because America started after we got there. And we were responsible for this country being called America, being built as America, and its economy. Right? So we were here before the beginning of America. And with that definition, we might can say we're indigenous to America. With that definition. But to be more correct and accurate, precise, native is the better term for our experience and how we got here.
Europe trying to ask us dumbass questions, sir, because now you're down bad, right? Right.
Okay, at no point did I insult you, sir.
There you
Once
go,
again-
sir. Yeah, I just answered your question.
Okay,
Yeah,
three.
that's why you
You
yeah,
spoke about the sellouts that sold them.
yeah. We had an ethnogenesis, sir. We became our own ethnic group, independent
Agreed.
of everybody, and we had indigenous ancestry here. That's what made us so thorough over here. We were Black, indigenous, and some of the Black people who were brought over, we mixed in, had an ethnogenesis, became foundational Black Americans, and we became the global culture, sir. Right?
I agree with the last part about the global culture, and I always take my
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
But
Thank you so much. All right. There we go. You're not just going here. He's one of them time-wasting tethers. All right. Just gonna talk in circles, and I'm trying to answer the question. You're not gonna talk over me. Let me answer this shit. Yeah, when y'all sold people, and then before you sold us, made us walk around the tree of forgetfulness so we wouldn't remember the janky shit you did. So yeah, we had an ethnogenesis. Yeah, we had a whole ethnogenesis and became a whole new ethnic group. Yeah. And built this country from scratch, and we were the indigenous people of the United States. Let me say that one more time. We were the indigenous people of the United States. Why? Because we are the foundational ethnic group of the United States. We built the United States. The guy on the phone, you immigrated to an established country. Britain was already established. You immigrated there, sir. We're different. You're an immigrant just bouncing all over the place. We didn't immigrate nowhere. We built from scratch with our ethnogenesis. All right? We built this country from scratch, therefore becoming the indigenous population of the United States because we are foundational to the United States. We have a unique claim to this land. We don't have to sit here and pretend to be generic Africans, which we're not. Everybody's ethnogenesis is supposed to be respected except ours. He tried to be slick and use some of these little Jedi mind trick words. He tried to slip in this little slick wordplay, and I caught you. No, no, no. No, 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 sir. Man. Yeah, why do y'all want us to be African so bad? Y'all don't even do that with your fellow Jamaicans. Y'all not running around there trying to African. You're Jamaican, you're Caribbean. Lord have mercy. You're Caribbean. You respect your Jamaican ancestry. Again, you got a lot of Irish shit going on over there. Hell, the Jamaican accent is an Irish accent. Yeah? Man. Damn, y'all are just desperate for us to identify as generic Africans. Newsflash, ain't happening. It ain't happening. You know why they want us to identify as generic Africans? And he's Caribbean, because all of these people benefit off of us being generic Africans, even the Caribbeans. Because see, the Caribbeans can dip in and dip out of African identity whenever they feel like it. So if we are generic Africans as foundational Black Americans, all of our civil rights gains, all of our culinary gains and cultural gains and cultural achievements can be extended to all of these people who can claim African ancestry. That's why they need us to be African so bad so that they can glom off of everything that we've done under the African umbrella. Because we are looking at ourselves correctly as foundational Black Americans, all of the goodies culturally are under our scoreboard. Now that we've delineated, ladies and gentlemen, these folks are on their own and they ain't got nothing on the scoreboard like that. The scoreboard is looking a little wicked and weak and it's looking a little flimsy. So they need us to be African. They gotta have us to be African. Come on. I know it was about 400-500 years ago, but you're still genetically the same and they're just trying desperately to make us, to convince us to be African. Listen, no disrespect to Africa, these shaming tactics. FBA, y'all hate Africa. Y'all dislike, y'all have disdain for Africa. Those are shaming tactics. That's a shaming tactic. We do not dislike Africa. I go all the time. Guess what, though? I'm not a continental African. I go to Africa as a foundational Black American. And guess what? I get treated like one. Okay, I'm cool with that. Don't sit here and try to run game on me, though. When I go there, they charge me different prices for shit than they treat the locals and charge them. I'm a foreigner. They treat me different. Okay.
You're a foreigner and they call you an brony.
Cool. You understand? I'm not playing this bullshit game with nobody. If you want to be a generic African, if you want to sit up and light some incense, all right, you want to go get your little meerkat and put it in a cage in your house and get some fufu and eat with your fingers and make you some jollof and go watch some Cynthia Erivo movies and listen to Akon, knock your goddamn self out. Nobody's stopping you. I ain't stopping you. Knock yourself out.
Oh man, God. Yeah, but okay. When I hear "eat with your fingers," right, I think of a burrito, French fries, you dig, things like that. When I actually seen what yo, how you eat chili with your fingers? Like when I seen them eat their food with their fingers, yeah, that food is like chili. That wasn't like French fries or a hamburger. When I heard about finger food, when we say finger food, we're talking about a burrito, French fries, a hamburger. You gotta grab with your hand and put in your mouth. You dig? They don't use a fork. Pizza. When I seen them eat that food over there, I'm like, yo, that is like eating chili. Chili is not a finger food, yo. You need a bread bun or a fork or something. You can't eat chili with your hands. Yo, their hands be messy as hell. Yo, that is primitive behavior, man. That is primitive. That's not finger food. That is primitive. You need a fork, a spoon. And the fact that we're in 2026 and they don't use a fork or a spoon to eat, that's basically chili. To eat chili with their hands, that's crazy. That's primitive. That's chimping out. Eating food like that with your fingers, yeah, that's chimping out. 100%.
If you want to walk around the neighborhood musty because you want to get back to your roots or whatever you want to do, knock yourself out. Get the fuck out of my face, though, trying to tell me what I am. I'm foundational Black American. Now, if you want to got a musty dashiki and peppercorn and that's how you want to live, no, I ain't stopping you
At all.
Knock yourself out. I'm foundational Black American.
Hey, hello, wait. Let me make sure the volume is up. 1 second. You got a call already at the top of the morning. Get big. Hey, what's going on?
Not too much.
Do you eat that African food with your hands?
I'm not African.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, so you're not African. What are you? How do you identify?
It's not about how I identify, it's who I actually am. I'm a Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Cree.
Okay, you sound like a white guy.
What do you mean by that? Why? Because I don't have talk with a res accent? That makes me white.
What makes you white is that,
Racist. That's pretty racist for you to assume that when you don't even know.
and bro, listen, sounding white is enough for me to get you up off here. I don't invite white people on my platform to talk about FBA business. All right. So FBA business do not include the conversations from white people, Hispanics, Arabs, Chinese, all that. No, if you're not from a sub-Saharan African country or the West Indies or Haiti, you're not invited on this panel to talk about this. Okay? You're not gonna learn about FBA from me. All right, you go Google it. But I will not be wasting one fraction of a second talking to somebody about FBA and it don't apply to them at all. They can't even cosplay. Get up out of here. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that's desperate for anybody to call in. You got to fit my the guest. All right, I have a certain guest I went on here, and whatever you were just now, sir, you're not on the guest list. I got a guest list, and you're not on it. Is that okay? Am I allowed to have a guest list? My guest list is from people who sub-Saharan countries, specifically, I rather Central Africa, West Africa, South Africa, some Eastern African countries, some, none of Northern, none of the Arabs, none of the Indians, nothing yet. No, you're not allowed. The diaspora, yes. I don't want to talk to people that this don't apply to at all. You're wasting time. You're trying to be nosy. I got nothing for you. And he's trying to get back on. These guys, I just told him I have a guest list. And he's trying to, hey, man, but let me in, man. No, you're not coming in, bro. You're not invited to FBA business. Sorry. Go find another FBA space that's desperate to talk to white people.
American. All right? That's what I'm on. My ancestors are here, documented. I go visit them in tombstone. I can visit their tombstones right here on this land. All right? Going back to the 1800s, 1700s. Yeah? We're one of the few groups who can do that. We have ethnic continuity. That ain't to denigrate nobody. That's a projection. That is a projection. Yeah? Man. Well, yeah, they keep trying to convince us, boy, well, y'all really trying to convince us that we are supposed to identify as continental Africans. Y'all just hit Africa. You don't like who you are, nigga. You don't like who you are. Where you living? I live in Amsterdam, nigga, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you don't like who you are. You're the one who fled from there. I didn't. You fled from there. You got on the first thing smoking to get the hell up out of there. Stop playing. Stop projecting this stuff onto us. Damn that. Good grief. Let me can we get one more? I think we're having great conversations. Are we having good conversations? Yeah, city life, that's a finesse. All right, that's a finesse. All right, who is this? Let me see. Okay, yeah, you trying to, what's his name? You trying to troll in the room, sir. Still got, okay, now you're trying to troll in the chat room, sir. You're a Caribbean punk, sir. You're the Caribbean punk. You up there talking about you British now. With your mustache, you ain't British. That's what you ain't. Talking about you British. I'm British, Bumberclad. You a damn refugee, sir. Stop it. All right. You got confusion about who you are. All right. Don't try to project your confusion onto us. See, we built the nation from scratch. You didn't build Britain, sir. You and your family hopped on an inner tube. You're a Windrush baby, which I guessed properly. I can tell. And you're ashamed of it. You tried to deny it and then admitted it. Yeah. You and your family packed up some damn Bammy and some jerk sauce, fled your ass over there. And y'all think you British subject, you British subjects in Jamaica. Let's stop playing, right? We're damn British subject. That's why when the Queen and them passed away, y'all Jamaicans running around, falling out all on the ground, crying. You can't say nothing about us. Y'all think you really think you're British. You think you British. The way y'all were, the Queen colonized y'all ass. They colonized you. They were buck breaking y'all on that island, doing all types of shit. Yeah, that was a seasoning island where them British was putting in work, beating the brakes off folks over there. That's where they would go to season people. You get real extra punished over there. And you think you British. When the Queen died, y'all running around there crying, rolling around on that hot ass linoleum floor. Not the Queen, Bumba, no. Not the Queen, no. Lord have mercy. Y'all acting a fool. Rolling around on the grass, getting pebbles and seashells all in your peppercorn. Me one go too. Me one go too. Bumba Clyde, me one go too. Getting jerk sauce all on your cheeks and shit. Oh, hell out of here. Lord. Man. Oh, Lord. Let me see who else we got. Y'all think we didn't? Oh, we remember y'all showing out. We remember. We didn't forget. Oh, we didn't forget. We saw y'all acting a damn fool like that. We saw you. Oh, we saw your ass. Y'all ain't gonna never live that down. Oh, all the Africans, they were doing it too. All them Africans and Caribbeans, when the Queen died, y'all rolling on the ground. And y'all saw that video of that one, was she African or Caribbean over there in the UK? Prince Charles or somebody came in the room and she dropped down to her knees crawling. Y'all remember that video? It's an infamous video. Oh, that lady, so Prince Charles came in the room and she dropped down crawling on her knees. Boy, y'all ain't never living down them allegations, nigga. Y'all ain't living them allegations down. We were like, whoa, she African? Yeah, buddy. Then we gonna build something with that? What we gonna build with that? Come on now. Man.
Those tethers didn't globally shun that. Like they were quiet when she did that. If that was us, we would have called that woman out. My God. We would have called her out in the worst way if that was one of us.
Shout out to everybody in here. We in here deep. Shout out to the family. We're in here heavy, ladies and gentlemen. How many hours I've been on here? I've been on here for I've been on here for a minute. Should I get one more? Shit, there's a lot of y'all in here. We chopping it up. Should I get one more? Should I get one more, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I couldn't tell if she was Caribbean or African. I couldn't tell. All right. Should we get one more? What I say? We had a sleepover. Man, let me see. I ain't gonna do 6 o'clock. We got these badass kids. I got to get up for school. My kids, they be up late. They don't want to get their asses up. Okay, let me see who we got. Y'all raise your hand. Let me get the hands up. Let me see what we got in here. We'll make it do what it do. Get your hands up in the chat. Oh, I ain't gonna do 1 more hour, Kev. Said 1 more hour. Yeah. Let's get those hands up. Let's get them up. Let's get oh yeah, my kids, the school has started for them. Let's get who we got? So one more time. Oh Lord. Yeah, let's get Ben. Let's get Ben Bacon. Ben.
Savannah, Georgia.
Shout out to Savannah, man. I got to take my family out there to Savannah and Charleston. Yes, indeed. So what's on your mind, bro?
Basically, about that last dude that was talking about, it's like really weird how they always try to put us on this, like, we're all like want us to claim African just of a genetic, just because of genetics. Like that don't cut it. Especially when you they always try to deny that part when they done sold us as well. They
Right.
5% that come over here to get real quiet about that part. But they want to claim us after that. That's very wishy-washy. And the last point is I remember when you first said, like when that queen died, how they was gonna be rolling all over the ground and stuff. And I was like, damn, they really gonna act like that? And then when that happened, it was damn, they really was crying.
Oh yeah, yeah. When she died, I said, "Watch this happen." I said, "Watch them. They're gonna be acting the fool." I knew how they were gonna do because I know how a lot of them think that they're like dark Brits. It's really funny style. Chitty, what's up, Chitty? Miss Chitty. Miss Chitty ain't saying nothing. I thought we were gonna see Spider-Man. I don't know what we're gonna see. We're running all over people's house. Oh my dude. All right. Let me see. Who's that? Moon. All right, Mr. Moon. Hop on, Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon is talking kind of funny style in the chat. Mr. Moon, hop on in, sir. All right.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Mr. Moon? You're very hostile to the people in the chat. Now, Mr. Moon, what part of the Caribbean you from, Mr. Moon?
Oh, I'm not from the Caribbean.
Where's your family from?
From Mississippi.
Really?
Yep, deep Mississippi.
Oh, okay. So what issue do you have with people in the room?
When the conversation is about lineage, it gets a little off to me. Because it turns into I'm Aboriginal, I'm Native, whatever else have you. Even if that's the case.
You didn't hear that on here? Where did you hear that on here?
This isn't the first time I've been in your live. It's normally like that.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. When you're describing your lineage, who are you trying to delineate from?
Dude, anybody who's not of our lineage. People who...
And your lineage traces back to just the Americas?
Well, hell, our lineage goes back millions of damn years, but our direct lineage on paper as a distinct ethnic group goes back to the beginning of this country, right?
Until the late 1800s, early 1600s.
You're breaking up. What now?
Sorry, 1 second.
Let's get this together. Yeah, I don't be talking about I'm Indian and all that stuff.
His Fed walkie-talkie is losing connection.
Hear me saying all that.
Sorry.
But go ahead.
Had to connect to the Wi-Fi. My bad.
Got it. So now, how do you let me ask you, what's your lineage? How do you identify?
Well, the question, if anyone asks, I'm just going to say black. It won't be much deeper than that.
Just black. But yeah, I mean, so you like Barack Obama black?
No.
Okay.
And that's
what we're trying to get Tariq out of, that bad old habit of allowing Africans to tether on to the flat black. Ain't no Barack Obama black, Tariq. There's no Kamala Harris. I mean, you know what's crazy? Tariq was arguing that Kamala ain't black. So he knows that black ain't just a color. Like so I don't know why he's like hell bent on extending black to Africa. Or I don't know why he's not hell bent or not, why he's not taking it from them. Why he's allowing them to say they're black. And every time he allowed them to say they're black, they gaslight the hell out of him, and he struggled with every last one of them. It's like, yo, Tariq, you can easily say, hey, how are you black? I don't believe you're black. Black ain't African. Black and African are not interchangeable. But when he lets them say they're black, they're making black and African interchangeable. So if you claim you're not African, but you're claiming black, they'll say you're African because it's interchangeable. That's why you got to take it from them from the beginning. No, whatever you are, you ain't black.
That's kind of what I mean is I don't have Caribbean parents. I don't have a distant cousin, grandma, none of that. Everyone's black. They're from here. So, but that's when I asked the question, because normally people, like I said, it gets real FBA, and we try to go back as far as we can to say we didn't come over here on boats, and that's what
I didn't say that. No, y'all. No. See, y'all get into all these semantics about shit that I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You don't believe that?
Yeah, some of us did come over on boats. And there was some
do you believe that the large majority of Black Americans came over on boats?
I don't know what percentage. I know a very small percentage of people did come on boats. Though only less than 300,000 people came to North America on boats.
So of the population of Black people that exist here, what percentage of those people do you think have lineage that came over on boats?
We don't know, and it's inconsequential. We don't know because there were a lot of Aboriginal tribes that were Black. There were some that were red. There were some that was...
Yeah, so when you guys tell me certain things you shouldn't debate with each other, this is one of them. Like you said, inconsequential. Like, that doesn't matter. Hey, so what percentage of why? I mean, we don't care. We don't care. That's like me asking a white man who's Italian. So what percentage Italian are you? Are you 80%, 70%? He's Italian. I don't give a damn. And he doesn't care. He's enough to make him Italian.
Siberian, there was some that were Melanesian. So there were different tribal groups all littered throughout the Americas.
So that's kind of what I said at the beginning, though, is that we turn into saying that we never came on boats. There's no African lineage.
Okay, so now, you're doing selective hearing. I just told you some of us did come on boats. So
yeah, but you've reduced it to some. And my argument here is that the majority of Black Americans here have direct blood from people that came over on boats.
Hold on. I didn't reduce anything. I told you a factual number. This is a documented number. According to every expert, sir, less than 300,000 people came over here on boats from Africa. This is not me. This is just some of the official numbers. That's a very small percentage.
Over the course of the entirety of the transatlantic slave trade?
Yeah. That's what they said, 300,000, less than 300,000 people. Over all those centuries.
How many how many slaves were in the Americas?
Dude, it was millions.
Right. So that's what I'm asking is...
Okay, but here's the thing. What's a guaranteed fact? At the beginning of this country, when the United States was created, who was the foundational population? That's a question for you.
Who was the population that was here?
Who was the foundational population building the United States?
That word foundational is blowing me off because there are people that were native to the land, but what do you mean by foundational?
Okay. The United States was built by somebody. Somebody had to be the foundational population of the United States. Who was that?
Why are we adding foundational? There were native people here. There were people here.
No, foundational is a term. It's a term that's already there. Foundational means any society, just like the term founding fathers. Okay, that's something that's there.
So when you say foundational, I could take that to mean like where the boats landed. So that could be anywhere from Louisiana to the North Carolinas up to Virginia. But if you go out anywhere west, there are other groups of people. The United States is a big place. That's why I'm asking. What do you mean by foundational? Because the United States was filled with multiples of people.
You're circumventing the question.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I would have ripped this dude apart.
That's not circumventing at all. I've asked you to be specific.
Okay. Multiple people. Who built the United States? Multiple people didn't build the United States. Who built the United States? It was a very specific group of people. And the census forms were very, very specific. It was only 3 races on the census form in early America.
Yes, Black slaves. To the people saying I'm not Black American, would you bet your lives on that?
Come on now, let's talk. We're talking, sir.
I'm sorry. I'll ignore the comments, but
We're talking. All right. So the foundational population of any society, there's going to be a foundational population who builds, because this is a new country. We didn't come to a new country. We had to build this country, right? I'm asking you a question, sir.
yeah, I said Black Americans, so I'm a bit confused now.
Why are you confused?
Because that's the answer to your question. If you're looking for who built up America to what it's supposed to be today, that's the answer.
Right.
It's the people that were enslaved.
Right.
But you also said who was the foundational group here. So there were slaves who were brought over on boats. There were people here who were enslaved alongside those people who were, and that's why I try not to erase Afro-Indigenous people from, you know what I'm saying, from the conversation. But what I'm saying is when you're asking about the foundational group, there were multiple of people in the Americas when they got here.
Who built the United States, though?
I answered that question. I said,
okay, you said Black, right? So Black people, Black Americans who didn't immigrate here are the foundational population. That's a logic term. Got it? That's a logic term. Oh, if we're just relying strictly on logic, the foundational population who built the United States were Black Americans who didn't immigrate. So we are foundational to this nation. And if you're being honest, your family is foundational to the United States, right?
This is if the argument is for the country that exists today, the beginning of this country, sure, but the transatlantic slave trade begins in 1619. So when I ask the question foundational, I often ask, how far back are you going? If you traced your family to the...
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. So for me, this would have been easy. Dude, who jump-started the economy for what is called United States of America? But even before then, who jump-started the economy over here in this land that was later called America? What jump-started? What type of labor, what type of import-export jump-started this economy to make it come from zero to damn near, zero to one of the strongest economies on earth? Okay, that was rice, tobacco, sugar, cotton. That's our labor. The foundation started from that because that produced the money to buy supplies, because the North, right, the small hats up north were producing supplies for the southern states to expand and be more efficient with the slave labor. Okay, so the economy started, and they were able, from the cotton, rice, tobacco, and sugar, they were able to produce money, and now they were able to buy the supplies coming from the North to help with the production with the cotton, sugar, rice, tobacco thing, right? That's how the money was made. More money, more supplies. Now you get more steel. Now you can build railroads. You did coal mines, energy. You can have the trains going. But it all started with the economy. So the economy is really the real foundation that paid for other resources to get this country going, to become industrialized and eventually a first world power. That took cotton, sugar, tobacco, and rice. All that type of stuff is what built the economy to pay for supplies. That's what makes you foundational. If your labor didn't do that, it's no way in hell you're a foundational Black American. That's all that had to be articulated, right? But let's go
to the 1400s, before the transatlantic slave trade. If you found a way to say my family was here before the boats even arrived, because that's a different conversation.
That's inconsequential. You know why? Because no matter how we got here, Aboriginal or by a boat, we were here before the building of this country and we built it. So we had an ethnogenesis. See, I don't deny that some of us do have African genetics. Yes, there were some people brought over from Africa, and there were some Black Aboriginal people here. They got put together, and that created an ethnogenesis. We became a different, new ethnic group being on this land. All right. I'm not negating Africa. I don't negate Africa. Genetics, but different groups have ethnogenesis. Everybody's from Africa at one point. We're not continuous generic Africans. We're not going to be just generic Africans century after century after century. We're the only group who they require that status for. Why do you think they do that? Just for us. They don't do that with nobody else.
Yo, man.
I'm a little ask the end of your question again. Do what for us?
Why do you think they want us? Why do us here, we've been removed from Africa for damn near half a millennium. Why do they have to require us to identify as generic Africans? Why do you think that?
I don't think it's a requirement. I think it tells the full story because our lineage and our story here is completely different. If I separate from that story, it kind of waters down the tale of the coming to of our people, our story here on this land. We are our own ethnic group. I'll agree to that. We have our own traditions and what have you. However, I think it's important to make sure that, that part is acknowledged.
Really? Okay. Why is that important to say that some of us came from Africa? So we did, but we had an ethnogenesis here. Everything culturally significant about us comes from our culture that we created here. And
it's a testament to how strong we are as a people. We didn't choose to migrate here. For the ones of us that have a bloodline traces back to Africa, directly to the transatlantic slave trade, we were forced to come over here. So that tells a much different story than someone who may have had roots that tie directly to the land.
Right. And now this is where we can't negate the fact that most of us got some Aboriginal ancestry too, because we've been here too long to not have it. All right. But the thing is, many of the Aboriginal people were enslaved and they were reclassified. They just put everybody on a plantation and said, okay, you're a Negro. You acknowledge that happened, right?
Yeah, no denying there.
Right, there you go. So again, we're just not displaced Africans. Yeah, we had circumstances put upon us and we survived that. And us surviving those circumstances gave us some cultural stock that is phenomenal. And we are a very unique ethnic group. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. Right?
Yep, no arguments here.
Right. So what's the issue that you have? You got some kind of issue. What's the real issue that you have?
Look at the conversation we've had, I think has been at least somewhat productive. There's no malice. The information that you're giving out, the conversation that you're having, do you see the battery of the back it's putting in the people in the comments? Because they're not saying the same things that you're saying. The group that you've cultivated is the complete opposite. I haven't disrespected you or really anybody in here. But the moment I say I think X, Y, and Z, it's turned into a million other things.
Hold on. What group did I cultivate? Name the group.
They're below you, the FBA group. That's who follows you.
How do you get in the FBA group?
All you have to do is, I guess, download that flag that's black red with the gold symbol in the middle and say I'm FBA and I'm Cherokee.
Oh, okay. I don't even do that. So yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is that's who's following you. You don't sound near as crazy as
so
the people.
You saying I'm leading a bunch of people and I don't even do what they do?
Yo, the logic for these tethers is ridiculous.
No, facts. I think sometimes even if our intentions are decent,
that doesn't make sense, sir.
No, it makes perfect sense, right?
Doesn't make sense. How you a group of a lineage? How are you leading a lineage?
Do you think all these people have gone on the census and looked back and found their people? Do you believe that?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that. The average American can't read.
Oh, damn. Really? They can't read?
6th grade level.
Damn. Well, they know their family. Even if they can't read, they would know their family, right?
No, because if you pull up the census and you go through the census, a lot of that, because it was written in ink, so you have to go through handwriting and try to lap together last names the best that you can. Mm-hmm. It's not very cut and dry, especially when you get back to the mid 1800s. So
you say they can't read. So how come everybody can't read, but you can? You can read, right?
I went to college. I got a master's. I did all right for myself. But the average American can't read.
That sounds like something that a tether would say.
Do I gotta prove I'm black? I went to Alabama A&M. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. My family is from Mississippi.
Okay, come on. Now we know he's a tether. Okay, he's a cosplaying tether. There's no black American would sit here and talk about, hey, black Americans can't read and use that as like, stop it, like a battle axe. Dude, you're a tether, man, and you fled. Knock it off.
Mississippi, that little area right below Memphis.
Sir,
I could pull up our super church that existed in the
And, dude,
1800s.
and on top of that,
that's not a
Last name Lanier.
and on top of that, dude sounds zesty as hell, man. Now this is a punk. If Tariq wanted to use the word punk on people, this is the guy. Okay, this guy don't sound heterosexual at all.
In Lanier.
That's not an Alabama or Mississippi accent, sir.
I need an accent. Wait. Let me cut my camera on.
We can't see you. We can't see you, sir.
Oh, there's no camera options here. I gotta prove I'm from Alabama because of an accent. Are y'all crazy? It's Huntsville, Alabama, Rocket City. This is not country Alabama. It's damn near Tennessee.
Sir,
Y'all clearly don't know the South too well.
sir, I lived in the South. I lived in Birmingham, Alabama.
Would you bet your life I'm not from Alabama?
Your family is not from, they're not from here, sir. I don't.
Would you bet a band on it?
Oh my God.
Would you bet a band on it?
I just say your family is, I don't believe your family's from here, sir.
Would you bet a band on it?
A band.
We could prove it. Change the live to where I can cut my cam on, I'll prove it. Bet a band. Bet a band.
Yeah, he can't even say our slang correctly. Better band. Like, dude, you're not even saying it with an FBA vernacular, dude. Stop it. Better band.
Yeah.
Some of y'all dudes be posting weird stuff.
No, there's nothing to post. I'm on LinkedIn.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah, I know. Y'all just be yapping.
Who'd you vote for in the last election?
Yeah,
You are.
yeah, this is a gaslighting punk. I would have been kicked him off. Yeah, I'm laughing because it's actually funny. He is gaslighting Tariq, yo. This punk is gaslighting Tariq. Better band.
You already know. It sure wasn't the orange guy.
Okay.
Better band.
There you go.
So you couldn't get me on not being an American because I'm really from the South. I'm really from here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really from Alabama. And my folks really from Mississippi. You couldn't get me on not being black. And now it's, oh, you didn't vote for the pedo.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a you know what?
You tried it though.
I tried it though. It's coming out at night.
You gonna
the punk come out at night. Let me fast forward if I get copyright.
Now that now you are in the house.
You're gonna be 50 with no one there.
I'm
Where's your
over
wife
50.
and kids?
I'm over 50 and my wife is in the house.
Where's your wife
chilling
and
with the
kids, Tariq?
Where's your pussy spray?
Y'all tried.
You are a Democrat punk shield, sir.
Yeah, you run up behind Donald Trump who sleeps with kids.
There you go. Yeah, you coming in here with these canned DNC talking.
You tried it, man.
When you start talking,
Why do Republicans vote for black people?
When you start talking,
Why do Republicans show up to?
Punk, stop all them DNC.
Why do Republicans show up to
I
vote?
told y'all these DNC
Why
punks are
don't-
gonna come in here. These old
Now you
wide
gotta
bussy, these old wide bussy punks from the
You
damn
gotta mute me.
DNC.
If you can't,
My
yeah,
punk,
you don't
my
want to
punk.
argue with me.
I'm not
Why
gonna
don't
argue with a DNC punk. I'm not arguing with a wide bussy DNC punk. I told y'all they're gonna keep sending these punks down here with the same talking points. All right, a sassy DNC punk, just running their mouth using the same canned talking points. I told y'all. When you start talking, I told y'all about punks. These DNC punks, they cannot stand black society. That's why you notice he keeps talking down on black people. Yeah, y'all black people can't read. Really? Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, family. So while they were talking, Tariq and the punk were talking. Don't forget, I did some research. I debated an educated tether who he was going for his doctor's degree, and he debated me on Africans in this country, kind of like him, like that guy. Okay, so we were reading, well, the first Africans family. We're told that 380, listen. We're told that 384,000 that was here came to America, family, at one time. I think I'm the first person on social media to explain this. Okay. I think I might be the first person on social media to explain that it was never 384,000 people at one time. Okay. Because when I was debating him, if y'all was there, remember, we kept saying 27,000, 34,000 in the beginning. We kept arguing that. So I'm like, if the dude hacker on the NIH website. So I'm like, if we're arguing that low number, 27,000, 34,000, then where is this 384,000 number coming from? Family, I promise you. When I was debating him, my mind was over there. Like that's how easy like these guys are to me. Half my mind is somewhere else. So I'm debating this guy with only half of my brain. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, if we're reading 27,000, 34,000, where the hell did this 384,000 come from? So the 384,000 number is real, not a made up number. But we were told, and we even repeat, that 384,000 came here. Like we teach it as though they came here at one time. No, family. That was across centuries. That was from 1600 to 1808. I don't know if I'm the first person to like explain it like that, and maybe I'm just late to the party. But I was under the impression because I kept hearing this in the YouTube streets and the TikTok streets, the number 384,000. So I automatically assumed that they came here at one time. No, family, over centuries, over 2 centuries, it eventually came to 384,000, family. So listen to what I'm explaining to you. We outnumbered them. So the 384,000, these people that got complete African genetics, we outnumbered them. We were here mixed in at 900,000, in between 700,000 to 900,000 compared to this small African genetic group. We had already outnumbered them. We had grown into a population within itself in this country at in between 700 to 900,000 FBAs, no longer complete Africans, by 1790. It was 7 to 900,000 of us and about 340,000 imported people from the motherland that was mixing in with us. So I don't know if you ever heard that before, but that's a fact. All right. So because I kept saying, why am I debating this guy on 34,000? But I thought the number was 384,000. So half my brain is trying to figure out that 384,000 number while we're reading the research saying 27,000, 34,000. So I was even playing with a full deck and I crushed him. So just now when Tariq and him was arguing 384,000, I said, you know what? Let me look that up right now. So I asked my AI. I said, AI, why am I hearing about 384,000? But when I read the article, AI keeps a track record what you typed in there. So I said, but I'm reading about 27,000 and 34,000. I said, could it be that the 384,000 came over a period of time, over 2 centuries? They didn't come at one time as I've been hearing. It said yes. The 384,000 is actually less than that. It's 339,000, or around there. It's less than 300. It's less than that. But the 300 whatever thousand, it's family. It happened over 2 centuries. They never came at one time because they kept importing, and then when 1808 came, where they abolished slavery, there you go. But we were already here mixing in and growing. We were a fast growing population. So that article is talking about how we grew naturally, FBAs, while Africans were still being imported, but we were growing exponentially. It's called the exponential growth. So we were growing amongst each other, mixing. The births are going crazy, happening faster than the DEATH, and they're importing Africans to 1808. Okay, so we became
who we were way while they're still importing. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the first person to break that down, but to some of you, I think I am. I think I am, because I ain't never hear it like that on these YouTube streets. All right, so look what date it is, because we're going to start putting dates on things, because you're going to hear this stuff being repeated on other platforms, but I started here first. You dig? And that's what type of research I am. Like, I keep saying I'm a little different. I'm special in a good way. Yeah. So now I'm working with a full deck. So tell this, man, God, if you thought I was cooking y'all before, sheesh. We're gonna talk about those 27,000. We ain't doing 384,000 no more. We ain't doing that. We're gonna talk about the 27,000. See, the conversation changes now. Oh, so you telling me the overwhelming majority of was on? Yeah, no, yeah, only yeah. Explain 27,000. You trying to tell me there weren't more indigenous people in this land than 27,000? 34,000? So when the 27,000, 34,000 people came here, I like to believe there was more indigenous people than 27,000 already here. So yeah, so this is going to bring about a new conversation. But you know, only on FBA News and Updates, you're gonna hear scholarship like this, connecting dots like this. Only over here. I mean, y'all could do what y'all want to do and have fun on other platforms, but the real information is over here. The real research is over here. And I had to solve that riddle. Like, why am I being told 384,000, but I'm reading 27,000? That's a big difference in numbers. Does that prick anybody brain? And by the way, you can call in. You can click the link. You ain't got to be afraid. Nobody got to be afraid to just type in the chat. You can click the link and talk to a scholar. You don't gotta you know, bussy around in the chat. Invite yourself up.
Them DNC punks, they have vitriol toward Black society. That's why they don't like us delineating, because delineating messes up the Democrat vote to them. Yeah, I want y'all to understand this. The Democrats.
Okay, so somebody said in the chat, some trolls said FBAs are being paid. Hey, bro, the only confirmed paid people have been Roland Martin and a bunch of Africans that was being paid by those Russian troll farms. So the only people who were confirmed to be paid by outsiders have been Africans and Democrats, liberals. Roland Martin's guys. They are the only people. You guys, the Democrat bussy, and the Africans in Africa, you guys have been the only people to be confirmed to be paid. There's no division. We were never a whole. To divide from something, you have to be a whole. We were never a whole. Now you can again, you can invite yourself up and we can talk about it, but most likely you're gonna babble. Cause y'all know y'all can't hang with me wit for wit, intelligence for intelligence. You already know you can't do that. So you gotta babble over me. But I would like you guys to explain the whole first. I was never one with you. Okay, we were never one with you. So let's debate the whole thing. We got to divide. We're going to divide. You got to explain me where we're dividing from and when were we one. We were never one. I just told you we started off as 27,000. Okay, we grew to 900,000 by 1790. You dig? And 4.4 million by 1860. So that sounds like it's just us. Where's this divide? Where were you at? 27,000 to 4.4 by 27,000 in 1700s to 4.4 million by 1860. Where were you? When were you part of that whole? All right. So to divide, you have to be part of the whole. We're still the same people. Y'all ain't never been part of our whole. We ain't divide. We're still us. We're still Black Americans. We never divide amongst ourselves. So, and that's why folks are just typing in the chat. But when it's time, when you want to challenge your brain, challenge your intellect, if you want to learn some things, you invite yourself up and talk to a scholar.
Need us to be generic Africans. I want y'all to understand the play, ladies and gentlemen. That's why.
And I'm gonna make it easy for you. You said rubbish. You're not a real Black Brit. The real Black Brits, the real Black Brits are foundational Black Americans. So I'm gonna make it more enticing for you to invite.
So the real black Brits are foundational black Americans. You're a cosplaying black Brit, and you're not black at all. How about that? So I'm gonna make it real easy for you. So we can debate the real black Brits or foundational black Americans, and we can debate you're not even black at all. You're a cosplayer. You're African or Jamaican. You're not black. So now I made it more enticing to invite yourself up. Prove to us you're a black Brit, you're a real black Brit, and prove to us that you are black at all. Come on.
Why they keep sending these punks in our spaces. Yeah, I'm of the lineage, and we still African. We should negate Africa. Okay, why? What's that about? Why would we ignore our foundational Black American lineage here? And they just, when they keep talking in circles and it don't make no sense, and then they say little shit. Well, your group and oh, okay. So yeah, you ain't dumb. You're not naive. So now you're trying to crowbar in specific buzzwords. That right there, he outed himself when he pulled that, your group and the people follow you. Oh, now you're out there. Now you're an op. Now you came across as the op you are.
Hello, hello, hello. You meant to hop on? Mistake? What happened? Damn. Hello, you meant to hop on? Okay. Hello. Yeah. All right. All right, well, hello. Nothing? All right. I'm gonna drop you down. Okay, so that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm trying to be. I'm humble. I think I'm the first person on these streets to break down that 384,000 and that 27,000. Y'all let me know. Hold on. I can't see the chat. I can see the TikTok chat, but I can't see the. What the fuck? I can't see the YouTube chat. All right, let me see the YouTube chat. Hold on. Okay, now I see the YouTube chat. So Madman said that was the first time he heard it, right? Yeah, he was zesty as hell. Yeah, I think that's the first time it's broken down like that. Because I've never heard it like that. I always heard that 384,000 came to this country at once. I know I don't believe anybody ever broke down. It was actually 27,000 that grew to about 900,000 about in about 1790. And then they kept importing Africans throughout that time. And that time, those imported Africans over 2 centuries equated to about 330. So those 330 Africans plus the 900,000 FBAs, okay, equal 1.2 or 1.3. A tether told me, nah, man, ChatGPT said 1.3, but the article said 1.2. So ChatGPT is wrong. You can't trust it. I'm like, so 1.3 and 1.2, like, is that much of a difference where the info is now? I said, it's an estimate, right? It's just an estimate. Yeah, now that's wrong because it didn't say 1.3 like the article did. The article said 1.3, ChatGPT said 1.2, so we can't trust the numbers from ChatGPT. Man, sit down. Sit down. Yeah, so I think I got to cook on this more, right? Oh my God. Yeah, that is yeah, yo, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they kept the 384,000, which is smaller, it's really 330,000. I didn't know that was cumulative. It came over a period of time. 2 centuries, 200 years. They kept bringing, importing, and importing, and importing. And while they doing that, we're already here mixing amongst ourselves. So we're already FBA while the Africans are still coming over here. That's deep. So now, when I talk to these crazies, I'm gonna say, yo, what if I told you FBAs were here before us? And I ain't saying indigenous. I'm saying FBAs. We're here before the Africans. A lot of the majority of the Africans, we were here before them.
the imported Africans. Yo, I'm gonna mess the game up now. Yes, I mean, that's why I'm saying I continuously research, I continuously read and get better. So whatever person you thought I was yesterday, I'm usually times 10 by 2 days from now. Because I wasn't lying. I keep reading and researching and reading and I keep getting better and better and better. I'm never the last guy you spoke to. I'm like fourfold. Whatever you spoke to yesterday or day before or last month, I'm 10 times better than that, as you can see. Because I keep coming across more information, more information. I keep adding into what I already had. It's like those black op video games, but they have all like the weaponry and tangibles to accomplish a mission. It's like me. I just got a whole bunch of stuff I keep collecting. That's why I can tell it for me. It's just so easy. Like when Tariq struggled a little bit, I'm like, dude, God, just call me up. Yeah, because I'm not calling no tether black.
That right there revealed he's an op. These DNC think tanks keep sending these wet, bussy punks up in these spaces to try to throw their talking points out there. And if we delineate, they're going to try to say we're Republican. You saw that? I don't even entertain that nonsense. Them bad faith arguments. You understand? These punks want us to vote Democrat because that's more punk money for them, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them LGBT funds are going to go to them. All right? Man, listen. The DNC, boy, they're getting desperate right now. They're getting very desperate, ladies and gentlemen. There was let me play a clip for you guys. There was this guy.
Okay, before you do that.
Who's a Cabbage Patch?
Yo, Black Americans.
Well, you say Black Americans are Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yes, sir.
Well, what, your head is shaped like a Cabbage Patch Kid. You're the one with the janky hairline, not us.
Do you know anything about the reset? United States reset?
The United States what?
All right, peace,
The
everybody.
reset. The reset.
Whoever comes.
What reset?
Oh, you never heard
Hey,
of?
yeah, I want to know how is it possible for some of these Africans to be in America for 20, 30 years and have that strong accent still? It's like, how is that possible? I got to ask AI.
About the United States reset?
Reset what? What was reset?
Where you started from.
Okay, and later on, I'm going to finish tackling Dan Calloway's remedial argument that, well, I already beat up the Harriet Tubman, never existed. It was embarrassing. This guy, Dan Calloway, has proven that he's not well-read, well-studied, or even finished any type of grade school. His logic and his remedial, it was embarrassing. So now he's saying that term doesn't exist. And the reason why he's saying this, the reason why he gave for Harriet Tubman did not exist and Nat Turner was like the most remedial, logical thinking ever. This says that, and this says that. So she never existed. It's like, what?
Tether.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up? Everything's good. Yes, sir.
That's nice. I was just, I didn't, you don't got a prompt or something, but.
No, I do got a prompt. I do got a prompt. Look, the prompt is, who is Black Part 2? 'Cause I started off yesterday. Like, for example, how do you identify? I identify as a foundational Native Black American. What about you?
I'm West African.
Okay, what country? That's
Senegal.
Senegal. Okay, and any tribe affiliation?
No, I'm from Senegal. I'm not, my family's I don't know, tribe.
So you're the only Senegalese in Senegal that don't have a tribe.
That is not everybody's tribe. Everybody's not in a tribe.
Okay.
Or families not in a tribe. So
okay.
And or 70% of the country are from tribalism.
Okay. Okay. So right, but here's the problem though. when you say Senegalese, that's your nationality. So when people are part of a tribe, their tribal names become their ethnicity. So you have a nation identity, like we have America's our nation identity, but away from that, people are Italian, Mexican, Nigerian, and Black. Those are our ethnicities. So if you're just Senegalese, that means you just have nationhood. You have a collective nationhood name, but you don't have a specific unique identity away from the nationhood. That's interesting.
Yeah, because usually the tribes they speak like we have like 9 different languages, and every tribe like have their own language. You can say. So I speak like the most common language. So
Right. So what's your ethnicity?
I'm African.
No, yeah, but that's your continental identification. Every 54 countries, you got Libyans who are African, you got Egyptians who are African, but you're all different. So that's your continental identity. What is your nation identity is Senegal, but what is your ethnicity? What I'm saying is, what makes you? How do you identify where you're different from the tribes that's there? Like what name? Because they also say they're Senegalese. So what name do you use that they can't use over there? That's just for you and your people. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, would you say you're Black?
Skin, like, yeah.
Okay. Well, my skin color isn't. So I'm just saying, would you call it like? Would that be your name? Like, because my skin color is not Black, but I'm a Black American. So I'm saying, like, do you identify yourself as Black in any sense? Okay. Great. Great. Yeah, I wouldn't say it either. All right. So can you maybe you don't know, but why do Africans cosplay and say they're Black when you like you said they're not Black? Why do they say they're Black?
I don't know. I can't speak for.
Okay. Okay, hold on, but let's just right, yeah, but logic. Okay, so there has to be an agenda then, because they're not Black, right? They're part of Africa tribe or nation, something like that. They're not Black at all, but they start to say they're Black all of a sudden, and that's like me saying I'm Senegalese all of a sudden. I never identified as that in my life, but all of a sudden, hey, I'm a Senegalese. I'm from Senegal. Like at some point you gotta say, yo, those Black Americans got some type of agenda. Like, why are they all of a sudden trying to pretend like they're Senegalese? Right. So like that's our antennas up. Like, why all these Africans coming over to America saying they're Black? Like, what are they up to? And like we see that as like this deception. Yeah.
What you're saying is that like in America you can see African people from Africa that like you're saying that they when they identify as Black Americans is what you're saying.
Yeah, but why? Because when they come over as Nigerian, they're not, and they get citizenship. They are literally called Nigerian American. So you have a name for yourself. You are a Nigerian. You're a Somalian American. You're Ethiopian American. Why are you stealing our identity? Be proud of being Senegalese, Sudanese, you dig, Zulu, whatever you are. Be proud of that. Like we're proud to be us. We're not saying we're African. We're not saying we're anything that y'all got going on. We're not saying we're Haitian or Jamaican, none of that stuff. We're saying we're Black. We're proud to be Black. We got songs, we got cultures, we got all type of chants, Black power. We're proud to be us. Why? So I'm like, why are these Africans running from the identity, trying to take on our identity? Like, what do they believe? What game do they believe is going to come from this? Like that.
I would think is that they trying to infiltrate your
Really?
culture, something like that. I just think that is I don't know, it's lack of knowledge, man, that they would like come to America and say that I'm Black and not realizing that they're stepping on toes with
I,
that. With
I
that.
think they do realize, but why not just be say, okay, before they come here, they're proud Senegalese people, right? Right.
Yeah.
So why not? So
when you come to America, you're no longer Senegalese. Like now you're just so like I don't believe it's unintentional. Like because you are Senegalese. I don't care if you go to Mars. You could be sent. You could be sent to hell. You're a Senegalese person in hell. So when people take off their identity and take on another people's identity, that is for nefarious reasons. That's not some unintentional blunder.
I don't think it's from my point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like. I would maybe if someone would ask me, okay, but what are you? If the person hasn't seen me yet, I would just say, yeah, I'm melanated.
Okay, wait. Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but you gotta be quiet for 1 second. I'm gonna dialogue on. Just hold on for a second. Okay, when people.
English is not my first language.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Wait, hold on. Wait, stop. Hold on. Hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to make sense of what you just said. That made no sense. I'm melanated. Hey, bro, nobody asks you how you describe yourself. When people say, who are you? They want to know what is your name? How do you identify? So they can link you to something. So when people say, so if you are as dark as you are and you identify as Chinese, the person who you're talking to won't take you seriously anymore. They're going to walk away from you, right? So the same thing, if we could look at you and hear your accent and see how you're dressed, and you sit there and say, hey, I'm black, we're looking like, dude, stop it. We're like, yo, where are you from? So that's what happens in these spaces. We have Africans and West Indians who come into our space and we say, hey, how you identify? They'll say they're black with a strong accent, with a foreign. We're like, yo, you got a foreign accent. You're not black, bro. What are you? And then it goes to that little semantical thing. And then finally they'll say they're from Nigeria, Jamaica, somewhere. Like, God damn, it took all of that.
Yeah, but I can't speak for other people, but
Okay.
I can just speak for me.
Okay, go ahead.
When I say it's 2000 is it's 2026. Like people are saying they are frogs, but you know people are identifying as whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, but they're considered. Wait. No. No, they can't finish. This ain't the Babel hour. All right, brother, come off your mic. This dude said people identify as frogs. Listen, I ain't trying to talk to you. What's up?
Hi, bro. Good morning. Good morning, everyone on the panel. All my black people, black Africans, black Americans.
There's no such thing as a black. There's no such thing as a black African.
Go to the North Africa, in Algeria, Morocco. They're classed as Africans, but they are Arabs.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
So when I say 1 second, bro.
Wait. No. Yo, why do well, I already know why. These tethers come here and just start ranting. Hey, bro, we're having a conversation, right? So that means we got to give punctuation marks. We just don't do run-on sentences. You're speaking English. There's a grammar in English. There's a syntax. There's rules to grammar in English. You don't have to keep running. You got to stop and pause, add a semicolon, comma, exclamation mark. You got to stop at some point. You just don't keep going. So now let's start the first part. You said that there are Arabs in Africa, right? That call themselves African, right? And what country are they in? Those Arabs?
Nigeria, Egypt.
Right.
Morocco.
Right. So now where are they from? Okay, now where are they from originally?
They are Berber people, yeah. So they're from Southern Europe, Spain, and Arab colonies, and also the original North African indigenous people.
Okay, so now
I think that the people of the land are no longer there also.
Okay, so in what?
Melanated Arab people.
Okay, so are you arguing they're not Arab? I mean, are you arguing they're not African?
No, I'm not. I didn't say they're not African.
So okay. So what that? Okay, here we go, bro. Hold on, you're confusing everybody. You said a whole bunch of stuff. So what did they have to do with the conversation? So are they African?
Are they African?
Yeah. The Berbers.
They live in Africa. Yeah, they're on the continent of Africa.
I'm asking. Okay, so what did they have to do with the conversation? Why bring them up? I'm confused.
Because you said black people in Africa are.
No, I said I didn't say black. I didn't say black people in Africa. I said there are no black people in Africa. So there's no black people in Africa. They're just African people. So watch this. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Listen. You said Black African, right? Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so now let's break down what we're saying. When you say African, when you say Black African, what does African mean in that phrase? Black African, what does African mean?
African.
A person, right? From the continent. Right.
Cool. Yeah,
Okay. Wait, no, I got it. I got it. Listen. No, I got right. And you answered it. You said a person that comes from Africa. Okay. So now, no, but you did. I saved you time. Okay. So when you said Black African, what does the black mean now? Because the African is the person. So what is the black? Wait. Wait.
Let me speak. It's a conversation.
Wait, but you got to understand. I don't want you to rant and you didn't answer the question. So
You're trying to manipulate the conversation. I know it's your panel.
Yeah, I'm trying to direct the conversation where it goes smoothly. Hey, bro, listen. I want to dialogue with you, but if you keep unmuting yourself and don't listen to the question correctly, I got to drop you down because I don't want you to give me any of your answer. You guys be doing that. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye. All right. No, I'm good. See ya. You can't lose if you can't shut up to listen. You dig? I'm trying to cook you, but you won't. Look, what happens is they don't understand the question. They give a random answer and they take 5 minutes. And then I got to say, bro, that wasn't the question. So it's like, yo, relax, calm down, take your African medicine and understand the question. I'm going to let you answer the question, but I want you to understand and agree to what the question is. I don't want a random answer, and I got to say that's not the question that's an answer, but it wasn't the answer to the question. And then we got to argue about the question and answer. I'm trying to save us time. I've been here with each other's. I'm trying to save us time. I want to ask the question and make sure you agree to what the question is. And now we give the answer we can hold you to if you're answering the question. Now, you heard that, okay? So now if you can't, look, I'm gonna invite you back up, but what you're not gonna do, Tether, is start talking when I'm talking. I'm trying to slow you down. You guys do that. Okay? So now, listen to the question. The question, you gotta listen to the question. Okay, he's a ticklish Tether. Okay, look. All right, matter of fact, just give your answer. Look, I'm gonna give you a 1 minute. No, 35 seconds. Give your answer. Go.
All right. I just want to give back and forth. When you talk about Black Africans, at the moment we have.
I don't talk about Black Africans. I say they're not Black. Yeah, but you lied.
Short term I'm gonna speak for, bro. Just be fair.
Yeah, but you can't misrepresent. But you misrepresent.
Okay, bro. I don't argue with you. We'll have a conversation.
You're misrepresenting my argument.
Answer the question, please. Bro.
Yeah, but okay. So I got to defend myself. I don't say Black Africans. I don't put those two words together. Go.
You are an individual. You're allowed to have your own thought, okay? But in the rest of the world, not just in America, what we say is we see white South Africans in South Africa. Yeah, they are also classed as South African. Yeah, or they're also classed as African. I know they shouldn't be, the European, but you call Elon Musk South African. Yeah, okay. When you go to the northern part of Africa, you have the Algerians, Egyptians, Libyans. Yeah, they're all Arabs. They're also classed as African.
So can you answer my question about Black and African? Okay, so the question was, you said Black African, and we agreed that African is the person. So I was asking you, what role does the word Black play in Black African? What is, if African is the person, okay, got it. Right, so it's describing dark skin, right?
Yes.
Right. Now, when we say we're Black people in America, when we just say we're Black people, is our Black an adjective like yours? Or is it a proper noun?
When you say Black in America, you're also giving a description.
No. Right. You are. That's why if Dr. King said he's Black. Okay, listen. Okay.
Stop Black, me or you?
Me. Right? And I'll tell you why. Okay, listen. Why? You got tell me why. You gotta relax. God damn, bro. Why? But I'm chilling. You're the one. Why? I'm trying to. Okay. So you're still talking now. Okay. So look, we don't. I just asked you about an adjective and a proper noun, bro. What's the difference? What's the difference between an adjective and a proper noun? And what's the other one?
I don't know.
All right, that's the issue we're having. A proper noun is a person, place, or thing that deserves capitalization, right? So like a city, a last name, or a country name. It's really a name, okay?
Okay.
Right, watch this. So our Black in America is a capital B. Only proper nouns have capital letters. Adjectives don't demand a capitalized letter. So when you say you're Black, that's a lowercase b. When we say, yes, because I just explained adjectives are not capitalized.
Yeah,
So wait, no,
how do you know I describe myself as a lowercase b?
when
Or
you
whatever in my documents or anything else, how do you know it's lowercase b?
because you just said you use Black as a descriptor.
What's the driving license?
Yeah. What? Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Hey, family. This is the remedial. This is the remedial gaslighting of tethers. Right. I asked you how you use Black. You can't listen while you're talking. I asked you how do you use Black. I didn't tell you how you use Black. You told me how you use it. You said as a descriptor. And then I was clear with you. I said an adjective. You said yes. I said adjectives do not demand a capitalized letter. All adjectives are lowercase. That's the rule in grammar, and not just English and other grammar. I study different languages. But hold on. I just said we don't use Black as an adjective. In America, Black stands alone as a proper noun. That's why we just say we're Black people. We don't say Black Africans. We don't say Black Nigerians, Black Haitians. We just say we're Black. So Black by itself identify a people. Black is capitalized in America, by the way. You can Google it. It's a proper noun. We don't use Black to describe our skin because, like you said, you're jet black. I'm not. And neither was Dr. King or Malcolm X, but we're still Black because it doesn't describe our skin. It describes who we are as an ethnic people. And that's why we have Black culture, Black history, and Black reconstruction, Black economics. You don't. You got Senegalese economics, Senegalese history, Senegalese flags. You don't have a Black flag. We do. Do you have a Black flag? No, right? Okay. We got 3 Black flags. We have the Black Panther Party. Even our politics are called Black. Your politics are called Senegalese. Nothing about you is Black other than your cosplaying rhetoric.
Okay. 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 Do me a favor. Do me a favor, my bro. If you go on Google and you type in Black countries, type in Black country flags, yeah? Or anyone in the chat, right?
Right.
We're having a little bit of a
right.
a bit of a breakdown.
Yeah.
It's almost like when one second. It's almost like that girl Tyler from South Africa when she went to the.
Okay. So I just said a bunch of something, and he said type in Black countries. My guy, that's called being anachronistic. The internet is anachronistic. It's going to reply what. Okay. It's going to meet you at your education. Okay, when you do a simple search, it's going to meet you. If you say Black countries, it's going to translate that to mean African countries. Just ask Google, is there a Black country? There's not one. They're African countries. Just like there are European countries, right? Europe. There are countries in Europe. They're not called white countries. All right. So that's semantics. Nigeria is an African country. Egypt is an African country. Egypt is not a Black country. All right. That's why the Egyptians are African. You get named after your continent. Right. Africa has 54 countries. Not one of them are called Black. But these are African countries because they're part of the African continent. There's no Black continent, my guy. Okay. So I'm gonna skip on you. You proved to be remedial. I got nothing to say to you. I can't even. You're not comprehending. You were supposed to respond to what I said. You didn't. You Euro stepped it, or you tether stepped it. You dig? So go have fun, man. Yeah. A lot of times, family, like I try to give them a chance, and once I see that they're remedial, that they can't respond to anything, I said, bro, he said, I'm a Black African, or there's a Black African. I said, okay, break that down. What does that mean? The guy said the African part was the noun, right? He said the Black part was the adjective. So listen how this works.
nouns are not adjectives. They're not synonymous, not interchangeable. Adjectives describe or modify nouns. They're not the same. Adjectives are not a thing. They become a thing when they attach themselves to a noun, my God. This is basic elementary grammar. We are not black adjectively. We are black noun. Our blackness is a proper noun. It's a noun. It's not an adjective. We're not describing something when we say we're black. When you say you're black African, you admitted you're describing what type of African you are. You're a dark-skinned African. Okay, but there's something called the marked term. It's commonly assumed that Africans are dark-skinned. So you don't got to add a qualifier to African. It's already assumed. When you say the word African, right? Remember African booty scratcher? Remember that word? Because according to you, Africans are whitey people too. Elon Musk. So when we called you an African booty scratcher, why'd you automatically find offense? See, because we might that means a whitey man scratching his butt, right? Elon Musk. You fake got offended because you associate that word to dark-skinned people, full lips, thick nose, and nappy hair. That's what you did. You immediately equated that statement, that roast name, to a typical African, the way you would think African is. So Africans are already assumed to look a certain way. So you don't have to add the word black there. That's called the marked term. You only add black, you only add black or African there or whatever. You only add a marked term when the person is not assumed the average look of an African. For example, Elon Musk or those white South Africaners. You gotta, when you talk about them, you now gotta add a marked term, like he did it, which he just did. White South Africaners. Because when you think of African, you're not gonna think of a whitey person. So whitey people, to be called African, they gotta add a marked term to their word. So they gotta change the word up and call it Africaner, so there's no confusion. When you say Africaner, you already know who you're talking about. But when you're already the presumed people, the targeted people, you don't need a marked term. So there's no need to say black African. It's already assumed you're dark if you say African, my guy. Right? So you don't need the adjective there. The whitey people need it. Because if they say they're African, you're gonna look at them like they're crazy. Yo, you clearly white. Then they say, oh no, I'm an Africaner. What is that? I'm the whitey people who migrated here at such and such time. Oh, okay, it makes sense now. But sometimes, education is lacking in some countries, and it's, I get it. And they don't have the wherewithal to sit here and listen. I'm like, yo, Dr. King, if black means dark skin, Dr. King ain't dark skin, how is he black? Oh, so that means in America, when we called ourselves black, we wasn't relying on the dark skin thing, right? So then what did we mean when we say we were black? If it wasn't about dark skin and it was before the black racial category, how were we identifying or defining black? How were we defining black? That's what y'all should want to know before you cosplay the word black. You should want to know, how did we use it? Because it wasn't about dark skin, and there was no racial class at that time that was called black. So how did foundational black Americans use the word black? And they don't want to know that, because then the cosplaying stops. All right? We use black to identify our complete ethnogenesis. That's still evolving, because it's a living ethnogenesis. But the word black for us is just a name that we chose to label us, our unique ethnic group. Right? So you got Haitian. Haitian is just a simple name that Dessalines said he called the Haitians, and he called the island Haiti or Haiti, whatever you want to call it. But that was a name he gave them. Thomas Sankara said, we're Burkinabés. That's a name he chose, a name out of many names they could have said in English. Okay. Then you have Kwame Nkrumah, who said we're Ghanaians. This is Ghana. So we said we're black. The same way they gave themselves their countrymen names and nobody can borrow it and cosplay it, that's the same way we said we're black. Same logic, same everything. We're black the same way a Ghanaian is Ghanaian, a Haitian is Haitian, and a Burkinabe is Burkinabe. Where that, right? That's all, buddy. So what you should do, because I talk about this a lot, what you should do is follow the myself, who's something like a phenomenon, and you will hear me break down this often. It'll make more sense. You were so hyper. I said, relax. He said, you relax, bro. I'm calm. You're the person who needs your medication. You was too hyper, right? You're too hyper. You use black as an adjective. We use black as a proper noun. I explained that. So now when his turn to talk, you think that he would respond to anything I said. He did not. Now when he talked about how he's black, I respond to what he said. He said he's a black. He said there are black Africans. I respond to that. In what sense does the word black play in that phrase? And then we broke it down. So now you got to respond to me. You don't just go somewhere else. You didn't respond to me. You conceded or you acquiesced. That means everything I said was absolutely true. So anything you say going forward doesn't make any sense. You conceded, which most people do when they talk to me. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm something like a phenomenon. You dig? And I'm a cheat code. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a cheat code in these FBA spaces. You dig? Some folks call me Debo Ron. You dig? Some people call me Freddy Krueger because I wake people up from their lying nightmares. They be dreaming too much, and I wake them up. You dig? I destroy. They call me Freddy Krueger because I destroy your lying dreams about being black. Okay? But I realize I'm a cheat code to these internet spaces. I got the full package. You dig? I can debate. I'm witty, attractive. You know what I mean? I got the whole shebang. The gift, the gab, if I want to. Well researched. Understand logic very well. Critical thinker, and I'm just something like a phenomenon. So when they call in, it's different. Yeah, I'm not those other people. I'm not those other FBA spaces. I know how to defend when I say you're not black. Matter of fact, that's my argument. When you hear that on the internet about people not being black, they got it from me, and I don't mind. But you need to know who's the source of that argument. Okay, black, like Negro, in other words, sometimes they become polysemous or polysemic, where they take on different meanings based on the context you use them. You dig? Based on the context you use them, they take on different meanings. All right. So I thought he was gonna go somewhere else when he ran to like North Africa. I was like really confused. But he says Black African. Now you could come back up, but I mean, but like I get it. Like you don't know how to dialogue. Like you said, English ain't your first language, so you don't know how to dialogue in English. You don't know how it works, how conversations work in English. You talk to each other. You land a point, you stop. We got something called punctuation marks. Without those, it's a run-on sentence. It's an incomplete thought. It don't hit it don't hit the way you think it hits. Without punctuation marks, bro, it's an incomplete thought. It's a run-on sentence. You're gonna get an F in English class. Okay? You're gonna fail. Okay, if you ever took public speaking, they're gonna teach you how to talk, how to communicate. You gotta stop at some point. That thought has to stop. And once that thought stops, somebody may have a reply. You never been to a meeting where somebody's explaining something like a training session and they be like, any questions? They don't just keep training. They want to know, are people getting it? Are people learning? Are you following? Is the training session successful? You dig? So when we have these dialogues, we need to make sure if it's sincere, we need to make sure that we are following each other, whether we disagree or not. We at least are following. It's respectful to follow somebody, and you could disagree after they're done, but you want to know where they're going. You didn't reply to nothing I said. We use black as a proper noun in America. Black, we don't need to say Black American. We don't need to say foundational Black American. We can just say black, like we did before. We use black as the noun itself. You use black as the adjective describing your noun, and your noun is African. Your noun is Haitian. Your noun is Jamaican, West Indian. That's your noun. Our noun is black. Does that register? Our noun is black. Your noun is Nigerian, Haitian, Jamaican. So when we start the conversation right there, you gotta know, you gotta understand that. So I'm gonna say, when I say our noun is black and your noun is Nigerian, Jamaican, Haitian, does that make sense? You either say yes or no. If you say yes, go on. If you say no, I gotta go on because I gotta make it make sense. Then I'll say, yeah, in America, we use black as a proper noun. Black is the people. Just like Jamaican is the people, Haitian is the people, Nigerian or African is the people, black is the people. We're not describing people. Black is not an adjective when we use it to describe ourselves. We don't use it as an adjective. You do, and you shouldn't. Because the first person to look at your skin and identify you by your skin are white tea people. This guy says he's from Senegal and he's not from a tribe. So just off that alone, I'm like, all right, do a little remedial. Do a little remedial. So I said, how do you identify yourself? By my last name. When you start having last names? They're like, something wasn't adding up with Buddy. Something just ain't right. Yo, something just wasn't right with Buddy. It wasn't adding up. You're from Senegal, you're Senegalese, you ain't from a tribe. I said, what's your ethnicity? He says it's African. Like, dude, African is the continental identifier, my guy. What's your ethnicity? What does that mean? Oh my God. Do you want to talk to people, Black Americans? You want to debate us in English and you can't speak it. You don't know what an ethnicity is? And you want to debate us in English? Come on, man. Come on, that's not fair to us, man. Learn English. Go and study English. And then come back and talk to us in English. I don't want to learn an African language. We're never going to debate in African. Okay? We're never going to debate in African. You got to come and learn English. You don't know what stuff is, then I go to explain it and you start tether babbling, not listening, and then I get done, you just talk about something else. Google black countries. God. Bro, tell me the name of a black country. And you're going to say Nigeria. Okay. So is Nigeria in Africa or is Nigeria in black? It's in Africa. So Nigeria is an African country, right? Yes. Okay. Africa has countries within it. Okay. Not a black country. It's an African country. Now I could have went here with him, which I normally do with tethers, but he wasn't going to appreciate it. There's some tethers like a little more smarter than him, but I would have, if he has some type of comprehension, sir, when did you guys start using the word black to identify your countries or yourself? Give me the dates. I already know how early it could have been. So, bro, you're saying black African, right? You're saying black countries in Africa. When did you guys start using black to describe Africa in a positive sense? What year? Okay, whatever year you give me, It's going to be after we did. So that means you stole the way we use black. You stole our polysemic way we use black. And then apply it to yourself so you black too. It's not how that works. You need permission. We got to agree. And I don't agree. I don't approve. Black is not something you join. It's an ethnic group in America. Listen, how are you? And here's another thing, family. They claim to be black. I asked them about Black Wall Street. They don't know. I asked them about, let's say, Black Reconstruction. They don't know. I asked them about Black history. They don't know. I'm like, yo, so how the hell are you black, man? You know nothing about black, but you're black. The black churches, like the origins. Do you know anything about that? You know anything about HBCUs? They know nothing about black, but they're black. Like, how's that possible, man? They're just black, but they know nothing about black. Black America. Like, dude, come on, man. That's disrespectful. But that's how easy it is to like out them. Just, okay, you're so black. Let's talk about black history. They don't know it. Let's talk about the Black Panthers, the Black Muslims, the free blacks. They don't know. Let's talk about the flag black. Let's talk about the Black American Heritage flag. Of course you know about that. You're black, right? You must know about the black flag. They don't know. How are you black, sir? You know nothing about black. How are you black? When did Black history become Black history? What was Black history called before Black history? And who was the founder of the origins of Black history? What scholar? What's that historian's name? What was it called before Black history? They don't know. Like, yo, so how are you black? They don't know anything about the Black Civil Rights Movement, the Black Empowerment movement, the Black Power movement. They know nothing. James Brown song, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Sing that. Sing the James Brown. They don't know the song. Y'all gotta stop cosplaying. It's unhealthy for you. You know nothing about black, but you're just black. That's highly disrespectful. Family, catch me at 3:30 p.m. I'm gonna finish up on whether Nat Turner existed or not. So okay. So we're gonna go through the argument whether Nat Turner existed or not. We're gonna finish up on this as well. And again, I'm the first person to break down the 384,000 Africans coming to America. We were told that out of the 15 million Africans that left, that were sold, kidnapped and sold from Africa by Africans, right? So let's go backwards a little bit. So during the transatlantic slave trade, at the beginning of it, Africans kidnapped and enslaved and then sold people to white people. Africans kidnapped, enslaved, and sold people to white people. 15 million to be exact. Okay. And it took, obviously, that's a course of time. It wasn't 15 million one time. All right. We were told 384,000 of that 15 million came to America. So we were told, so the way it's told, it's almost like 15 million went overseas at one time, and at one time, 384,000 came to America. No, was not being told that over centuries, the number came to be 15 million, and over centuries, the number came to be 384,000 in America, family. So at one time, 384,000 people never came to America. It was through centuries. All right. So the first number to come over here, family, was 27,000. That's a small number. Yeah. Only so now when these Pan-Africans and these people argue with you now, you got them. Don't say 384,000. That was over 2 centuries. Say 27,000 came to America. You're going to mess them up. Say 34,000 came to America. You're going to mess them up. No, there's more. Nope. 27,000 people came to America. And then another 27,000, another 15,000. That's how that happened. So, yes, we were small in numbers. The indigenous population outnumbered us like crazy. So that small number of people start to have childbirths, and in between that, more people were imported over here. Okay, at some point, we FBA's Black Americans, we outnumbered the imported Africans. Don't forget, 1808 African slavery was banned. So that means no more imports. But when they banned the importations of Africans in 1808, family, we were about 900,000 deep, and the African imports were at 330,000. We outnumbered the African imports by 1808. Okay, we outnumbered them. FBA's outnumbered the Africans that kept being imported over here. Follow me, tap back in with me, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm out. We're out. We're out. Out.